Hello and welcome. I am Ep2 and today we're going to be playing Rimworld Update Alpha 13. This is the second video in my new Let's Play YouTube series, and as you can see, I am starting a new colony. I was very reluctant to do this until I noticed that all of our components had been destroyed in the fire, and I think everything else, like food, we were okay on food. We had the potato and the corn crops coming in soon, like we were going to survive based on food alone. Wood, steel, like all of the raw materials, those are things that are really easy to get. Components aren't. Components are hard to get. Components are a big limiting factor on everything in the game. And for example, our cooler. If we didn't have components, we wouldn't be able to build a cooler. And that would be really, really bad for us. So we are just going to start over. We're going to start anew. We are not going to talk about the horrible fire disaster of Canyon Town, as it will now be known, and instead we are going to look to the future and see what we could do in this game. As you can tell, I have new characters here. New colonists. We'll go through the colonists. Ingi the Engineer. She is married to Ecoflaeus. She has a good opinion of Oksana just because they crashed together. She is a shooting, construction, crafting type character, fast walker, which is really good, night owl, and steadfast, which is all really good. Aiko is actually night owl and cold tolerant too. That's her husband. So I like to think that they got together just because they were both the only ones awake at the the night shift on the colony ship or whatever it was. Construction, growing, mining, shooting, which is really good. I really like having someone with construction and mining skills. And then Oksana Cole, green thumb optimist. And social, animals, medicine, cooking, crafting, research. So I think that's all really good. I think that's all well. We're going to go ahead and give you guys the pistol and that's the sniper rifle. And you'll get the plasteel knife just so you have something to carry. And now we have to choose our starting location as where we're going to build our base. I'm leaning towards over here. It's got rich soil. I mean, it's a shame because the Canyon Town actually was an amazing location, in my opinion, just from a geographical standpoint, but it burned down in a horrible fire, so we can't use that. So we're going to go ahead. I like here, if you can't tell, I like building bases that only have like one entrance and they're kind of backed into a corner, just because I feel like that's much easier to defend. Like right here, I'll just put a wall here, and then we can just fill this entire area with defensive and security emplacements. And that's probably the best spot on the map to do it. There's lots of room to expand. We're never going to run out of room to expand there. And if we try to build our base anywhere else, I feel like we'd be too vulnerable. We could try to build it here and then just build lots of walls right here, but I still think stuff would spawn through there, and that would be kind of an issue. So I think right here is just fine. And there's a geothermal vent there we can use, or steam geyser, sorry, that's the technical, the in-game name for it is a steam geyser. There's a steam geyser there, there's some more jade, there's compacted machinery, there's compacted steel, there's more of that over here, there's an alpaca, we might want to try to tame the alpaca. Are there muffalo on this map? Muffalo is kind of my go-to. They consume a fair amount of food, and they're really big, but they produce wool and they produce milk. Alpacas are really good because they produce wool much quicker, and they actually produce a lot more silver value in wool than muffalo do, but they slaughter for less meat and they don't produce milk, so muffalo are just kind of versatile. But we don't seem to have any, so we're probably going to go ahead and get that. There's a pack of wargs, there's a bear, there's a lot of deer. We could try to farm deer, but I think that's... They're wildness 75. They don't attack. They won't attack us if we try to farm them. But, I don't know, that doesn't seem... I would honestly rather just try to hunt the deer and do it that way. There's a tortoise. We could try to farm tortoises. I don't know, let's dive right in. Let's get going. Let's go ahead... I'll set up a stockpile zone here just so they will start hauling everything to the stockpile zone. Colonist needs treatment. I forgot to mention, she has asthma. I don't honestly know what that's going to do. If does she die if the asthma gets too bad? I don't know. I mean, I feel like if we had like like replacement lungs, we could just give her those and it'd be fine. But I don't know. So we'll have to build a bed for her and just, you know, if she, we'll hope that she doesn't die in the next, you know, 5 days or whatever. So let's get them hauling. I really want to get all of this hauled as soon as possible, just so if they're trying to do lots of stuff over here and all those resources are over here, the travel time, it's going to get really bad. We have rich soil that we can grow in. I will actually... Oh, and work! I forgot the work priorities. God, I'm bad at this game. Okay, let's get the work priorities up and running. 2, 1, 1, 1, 2... And the reason I'm doing that in particular is just that the doctor will always doctor before there will be patients. So if someone else needs medical care, they will get up and go help them. Flick. We'll get flick on 1. Everyone flicks the thing if it needs to be flicked. Handle cooking. Yeah, that's fine. I actually put cooking on 1 just because I don't want anyone to go hungry, and that's something that might happen. Handling is 3. That's fine. You're actually not bad for cooking, so we'll put you at 4. If you have nothing else to do, you can cook. Hunting. Who had the rifle? That was the settler. They could both hunt. We'll put that at 3 for both of them. Construction to... we'll put it at 2 for you and 3 for you. Growing to... mining. Plant cut. Yeah, that's fine. We'll drop that down. No one's going to be doing any art. Yeah, that's good. Alright, I'm happy with that. And again, in the early game, the goal is just kind of make sure you really have to micro your pawns a little bit and just make sure that they're doing what they need to be doing. I will kick up the speed a little bit just to make sure, you know, this video doesn't go forever long. And, you know, I wonder if we could rabbit farm. It's not a terrible idea. I wonder how long it takes them. It says their lifespan is 8. I wonder how many seasons it takes them to mature, because if they breed really quickly, then it might... We could get a lot of rabbit hair out of it. I don't know. We'll go with the alpaca. We will actually go ahead and try to tame the alpaca just so we can get the wool growth going. My understanding, I know that wild animals don't actually reproduce. They only come in off-map, so if you kill all the animals that are on the map, you will only see new ones as they come in from off-map, which is kind of... I can understand why they would do that, because... Excuse me. Coughing. I'm so bad. Very sorry. My bad. I can understand why they do that, because if you had all of the animals reproducing, it could... Then you're basically just modeling an ecosystem on a small scale, and that could get very... Ooh, this is really useful, actually. Let's claim... I did not see this before, but this is actually quite useful. We're going to claim that, put a door there, a wall there, and let's go ahead and set up 3 sleeping beds. And just in case they don't get those done, we'll put down sleeping spots. That's really useful. But yeah, like I was saying, I can understand why they don't do that, because then you're basically modeling a small ecosystem, and that could take a lot of work on the development side, and that might not be something they really want to do. But at the same time, I don't know, it's just something that, like, intuitively makes sense that they would do, and they don't do it, so, you know. But anyways, I'm so sorry. I'm coughing a lot right now. What was I saying? Animals. Right, animals. I can understand why they don't do it. It would take a lot of work, oh, wool growth and milk production. That's what I was talking about. I think that wool growth and milk production on like alpacas and cows and buffalo only ticks when they are tame. So if we want to, the earlier we tame this alpaca, the sooner we get a wool production out of it, a wool harvest, if you will. And we definitely want that because it is quite a lot of benefit out of that. Let's make a wooden horseshoe pin, just so people have a little bit of happiness that way. Yep, they can use that for joy. And yeah, I think we've got enough material now. So let's go ahead and make a wall. We will make a steel wall. We'll put it right there. We'll put a steel door in. And let's go ahead and designate some growing zones. So we'll designate the top half roughly as potato, which it defaults to. and then the bottom half will be corn. There it is. And do we want to do anything else? Let's put healing root here, just so we have a little bit of a supply of that. And then next growing cycle we'll do like cotton and hay, and well, actually hay would probably be a good idea. We'll just, not a lot of it, it's very efficient. You get a lot of nutrient value out of a small area of hay grass, but only animals can eat it. So, and we'll go ahead and expand this no roof area, which will again need to get reduced as the game goes on. But for the initial, just so people aren't walking around in the dark. And then let's go ahead and let's skimp on furniture for now. Let's not do furniture. Let's do mining though. I want to mine this out and put a steel wall here and a steel door. And that's going to be our freezer. That'll be our big walk-in freezer. And then we'll kind of redo, once we get bedrooms set up in here, we're going to redo this into a production area. So like butcher, cooking, research, stoneworking, all that kinds of stuff. So they're getting started on our growing, and this is going to occupy their time for at least the entirety of this day and maybe the next one, depending. Hauling, cleaning, research, what else are they doing? Is anyone taming the alpaca? Is anyone trying? Who's our animal handler? Oksana. I guess he's already been... No? Alright, whatever. I don't know, the priority in this game is kind of wacky. And what else do we need once we get this done? Oh, they already have that done. Awesome. Okay. So in that case, power, steel generator, run the power conduit. We'll put the battery right here. We're going to reinstall it somewhere else eventually, but putting it right there for now is fine. We will put a cooler there, and then a butcher's table. Let's put it there, and a fuel stove. Well, let's not put it there, because we're going to put the doorway there. Let's actually go ahead and put that down. And we'll put the fuel stove there, and the butcher's table. Yeah, that's fine. And then a neat little trick, if you didn't know this, you can put stools down on the work spot for these production things. And what happens is when they go to work at it, they actually count as sitting on the stool, which helps with their comfort level. It actually decreases the comfort level over time, which is just a nice little, not a hack or an exploit or anything like that, but it's, if you don't know about it, it makes the game a little bit easier. Or it makes the game easier if you know about it, so if you don't know about it, you're missing out a little bit. And let's go ahead. I do want to get you hauling. I think hauling animals are great. They need trainable intelligence advanced, which is limited to large dogs, wargs, elephants, I think bears, maybe? No, intermediate. I don't know. Definitely those ones. They're playing horseshoes together. This should actually give them... Yeah, I had a deep talk with Eiko, occurred 1 hour ago. So that's I really like that if they're standing next to each other doing something, they can actually get that kind of benefit. And we need to make clothing for her. Asthma minor. Does she just require continuous treatment? Like, is that... Because that's a pretty big drain on her medicine, if that's true. I don't know. We're going to have to look into giving her robot lungs. Let's see. Hunting. I think hunting these deer might actually be a really good long-term plan for us. Or not long-term, short-term plan for us, just because we need the leather to make her clothing. And the meat will help to make sure that we don't run into any food problems in the short term. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to designate hunt. Yeah, and we got a squirrel in there. That's fine. I mean, all this shit's going to get... Sorry, excuse me. All this stuff is going to get hunted eventually. But, you know, we don't want to... If we go ahead and tell them to hunt everything, then it kind of... They will... Their weird, messed up internal priority system will definitely... you know, mess up our well-laid plans. I feel like the internal pawn priority system on jobs is as much a challenge in the game as everything else, just making sure they're doing the job that you want them to do. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how everything turns out. I like our wood stockpiles. I like our steel stockpiles. We're going to have to start mining steel pretty soon, but I really don't want... I think what we really need to do is we need to not give them jobs that don't need to be done urgently, at least in the early game. Like, if I don't want the job to be completed within the next couple of days, I probably shouldn't bother giving it to someone, because then they're just doing jobs that I would rather have them not do because of their internal priority system. And again, I talk about the messed up internal priority system. That's mostly me as the player not respecting and paying attention to the game mechanics. That's not the game being bad. That's me being bad. But, you know. Let's go ahead and set up the stockpile freezer, even though it isn't quite done yet. And we'll set this down to -8. Doesn't really matter as long as it's minus. And clear all, priority important, resources, food, manufactured medicine, just to keep medicine in here. And honestly, we only really want the herbal medicine, but we might as well just say all the medicine. And animal corpses. That's a fair amount of blood. Yeah, I like this. Alright. And let's go ahead and set up Banthos! I like that name. That's a good name. Let's go ahead and set up some sandbags. We are going to eventually want to get some turrets. And I do want to talk now about one of the mods that I got. It's called Rimworld Security. It adds the base pack. There's Rimworld, and then there's Rimworld Security pack, and the base pack just adds a bunch of new guns to the game. And they're all guns that are flavored as vanilla-ish. They're things that if you found them in the vanilla game, they wouldn't stand out as being incredibly foreign. Obviously, they're not actually in the vanilla game, so they're going to be a little bit different from what's there, but the goal is to try to keep them in line with the flavor of the game. The security pack, which is a secondary chunk of the mod, adds a bunch of defense emplacements. So it adds a manned, and this is actually what the Shard Sentry, the Harvester, and the Molten Cannon are from, is those defense emplacements, or from that pack. Oh geez, alright, let's deal with this hair. You have a knife. Let's just go get you to melee that. And what are you doing? Eiko, it doesn't have a job right now. Construction, mining, repairing. What do we really want you to do right now? Well, first we need to set these bells up. I haven't done that yet. Cook simple meal, do until you have 35. Butcher's table, butcher creature, do until you have... Oh, that's not right. Do forever. Right. Yeah, Eiko's gonna go do that. I want to get a... animal area set up. This is going to be our barn. So we'll put the steel door there. Oh. Colonist needs treatment. She's got a bite. You know, I think she'll be okay. I think she'll be fine in the long term. We might want to actually... Let's make a path right there just so that they're not always walking across the sandbags, because that will slow them down a fair amount. And this is going to be our animal area, so let's go ahead and make an animal area 1. And I don't want to let them inside because they produce, you know, filth and waste. They actually dirty up the environment. So we're just going to do that. And butcher, we'll add make kibble, add to the top, and then do until you have 10. So whenever you run out of kibble, you'll make more kibble. Structure, steel door, and we'll do this. And right now I'm just setting up the kibble storage area because I want the food that our pets get to come out of the storage area out of here instead of out of the main area. Because if you don't do that, then what happens is that they just go in and they eat whatever the hell they want. And that's obviously not something that we want them doing. So, yeah, okay. I like this. This is a good setup. This is good so far. We probably want to add a wind turbine eventually, just because, you know, solar power generator by itself isn't that good. Or it's not that's not good, it's that if you have a wind turbine and a solar power generator, then they can buffer each other. Because if you have all solar power generators, then they're only working half the time. If you have all wind generators, only working half the time. If you have both, theoretically, they're going to work around 3/4 of the time. Maybe. I don't know. The probability on that's a little bit weird, but we might want to make a fuel generator. I don't know. Fueled or wind? Fueled or wind? Let's go... I don't know. Well, we don't need it right now, so we'll leave it there. And I want to go ahead and get the concrete here. And concrete here. Just because it's quick and easy. And what do we need next? Let's get to work. I want to get started on our bedrooms. So let's assume we'll do it this way. You know, we're probably going to need to expand this production area actually, so let's go ahead and block out another chunk for that. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then what I'm going to do is say this 6x6 segment, this 6x6 segment. Actually, because we're going to replace the walls with stone blocks, we're not going to leave the standard walls in there. We need it to be an 8x8. It'll only actually be 6x6 for them, but we should plan it out as an 8x8. If my calculations are correct. So let's go ahead and mine that out. We'll deconstruct these. The animal area is doing well. Is anyone making kibble? You know, we actually need we need like berries for kibble, so let's see if we can harvest any of that. Yeah. Alright, so that's good. That will get some kibble growing. Or not growing, but harvested. Let's go ahead and harvest this compact machinery, just because we want that. We have a wanderer that joined. Good. You always get one of those early on. Let's put a bed there for this dude, Hendrix. Let's check out your character. Medieval slave, explosives expert. Oh, cool. Alright. You're our miner. Good. And cooking and construction. So we'll do this. You're not a doctor. You will never be a doctor. Sorry. Hope that doesn't dash your dreams. Yeah, we'll let you cook if there's nothing else you can do. We'll let you construct if there's nothing else you can do. But you're primarily going to be a miner and probably making stone bricks when we get around to that. Speaking of which, let us make a simple research bench. Well, we're going to need to move this around. Let's uninstall and reinstall here so we can clear up some space. And we probably want to also get a steel table so they have somewhere to eat. There you go. Dining chairs are better. You want to use dining chairs when you can. They cost 4 times as much materials, so I'm going to give them dining chairs eventually. For now, they can sit on stools. And then also get a steel or a simple research bench. And yeah, electric tailoring. We should probably get that up and running. We're going to crowd this area pretty quickly, but we can expand it. That's not a problem. And hopefully we'll get our crops in soon. Potatoes are 55% grown. Corn is 35% grown. This is going to produce a ton of corn, by the way. This will be a lot of corn. We've got 18, 20 simple meals. Let's add a little bit more hunting. Just a little bit. And I actually do want to go ahead and add some Improvise turrets. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we're playing on Phoebe Chillac's challenge, so expect... I honestly normally play on rough, but I felt like for this YouTube series it would be more interesting if we got thrown some ridiculous challenges, so I'm playing on challenge. And I know there's a lot of players out there who play on like Randy Random Extreme, or the other one whose name I can't remember, Extreme. I'm not, again, as I said before, I'm not amazing at this game. I'm decent at this game, so I don't want to just die to the very first thing that gets thrown our way. And, you know, if we play a fair amount of games of this series and find that we're not being challenged, then I will, you know, go and make a new game, step up the challenge, give myself some kind of crazy constraint or goal, you know, say like we're gonna be squirrel farmers or something. But for now, we're just gonna play it like this. Hendrix doesn't have anything to do because he is dumb. Alright, so we can use him for mining. Let's get this mining going because he's actually really good at that. I will say, I really love having a character that is really good at mining, because if you don't have a good mining character, making these kind of mountain bases takes forever. It takes so long. Unlike, compare Hendrix and that guy, right? Aiko's not bad. Aiko's actually really good. Aiko's an 8. So we would be okay with mining anyways, but 3, 2, yeah, if we didn't have Aiko or Hendrix, these guys can't mine for crap. They are exceedingly slow. We're going to go ahead. Actually, you know, I realized that these plans aren't actually correct because this is going to be part of the wall. So it would be more accurate to portray... Well, actually, no, that's not even correct. Because 2 rooms, it'll be 8 down, because this will be the room. And then there will be another room here. Yeah, so that's right. So then let's just go ahead and order them to mine out like this, and we'll leave this wall here, and then once the rest of it gets built, we'll tear down that wall and put in a stone block wall, just because if we mine out the whole thing right now, it'll probably collapse on us. So let's not do that. Unroofed? Why are you unroofed? You shouldn't be unroofed. Oh. Whoops. Alright. That's my bad. I'll take credit for that. That's my bad. Raid! A group of pirates. It's a dude with a shiv. We don't actually have our security thing up and running. So let's go ahead and get these guys out here. And Hendrix, you're not a combatant. Okay. So we're not going to use you for that kind of stuff. Where is the guy? Alright, he's taking his sweet time, so we won't actually defend right now. And we'll haul all this out. Do we not have any steel? We don't have any steel. I missed that. Alright. Go ahead and mine that. Is there any other steel? There is up here. This will give us a fair amount of steel. And we're just looking to make our research bench right now. Yeah, we need more steel. We need a lot more steel. Oh, they're beginning their assault. So everyone, run over here. And I want the person with the shiv actually to be up here, and then these two to be right here. Oh, he got here quicker than I was expecting. Hopefully Oksana doesn't take too much damage. Yep, you're fine. Did you actually... Yeah, okay. Blood loss trivial. You're got a cut in the neck. That seems like it should bleed more. It bleeds as much as anything else, but it seems like it should bleed more. Do we want to try to save you? Probably not. No. Incapable of dumb labor, caring, social, or scary. No. I feel like you're here because you got exiled from your previous tribe. Oh, crap. You know what I forgot? I'm so bad. Guys, I'm really bad at this game. We actually need to flip ACO and NG's work schedule, because they are, we'll shave 2 off there. They are night owls, so if we don't let them sleep in the day and work at night, they will eventually get upset at us. It hasn't been causing a problem so far, but if you see, oh no, I guess it's nighttime now, so they're happy. But if you go and look at them in the day, they'll say, you know, night owl during daytime, -10 or whatever it is, you know, unhappiness. And let's go ahead and cancel. I'm going to cancel these mining jobs just because we need to get that steel production or that steel mining up and running. We would much rather have Hendrix mining steel than anything else right now. Night owl at night. Yeah, see, okay, so if you look at this, night owl at night, plus 16. So she's going to be very good in terms of, you know, not going crazy and killing everyone. We do need to get this light up and running, though, and we need to get these multiple bedrooms up and running because the shared bedroom, yeah, you see disturbed sleep. They're going to be unhappy because they got disturbed sleep, naked, or shared bedroom. She's naked, so she's unhappy about that. Yeah, ugly environment. So, just as soon as we get all that done, Hendrix is playing a game of horseshoes instead of his frickin' job. And I just realized that we have hit our time limit for this video. So, thank you very much. Our colony is definitely getting off the ground. We haven't been throwing anything too ridiculous yet, but I definitely expect that to change in the near future. And you know what we actually really need to do is we need to get an indoor stockpile going, because the wood and the, like, stuff's going to start degrading eventually if we don't get an indoor stockpile going. But that's for next video. Thank you very much for joining me on this video. Again, this is a new YouTube series. This is the second video in the series. I plan on making a lot more of these, and I really hope that you will continue to tune in for all of the videos in the future that I promise I will actually make. So, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.